Welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. So we're going to be taking a look at which city might be hosting the Eurovision Song Contest 2020. Now, as ever, please do remember to subscribe, click on the notification bell, as well as liking, sharing with friends or commenting. It's been a little while since we've done a video, so I do apologise. I've had a few things going on in my life, not least I've got married, as well as my husband is finishing off his PhD as well, so we haven't had as much time for kind of filming and editing as we would have liked. The video that has my sort of top 10 or moments of Eurovision Night 2019 will be coming, but just not yet, but it will be coming eventually. But today I thought we'd do a quick video about where Eurovision might be hosted next year. So, as you know, the Netherlands won Eurovision 2019, so it's returning there for the first time since 1980, which is when they last hosted. They last won in 1975. But last hosted in 1980. And so the summer period is always a bit of a down time for Eurovision fans. It's a bit of a dead zone. But the main thing that kind of gets our interest around now is where Eurovision might be hosted. Sometimes it's very obvious, it's likely to be the capital, and other places, as with this year, there's quite a choice available. So quite a number of cities had sort of expressed an interest. In fact, it was around 9 or so. But they have now done the official kind of bids, or big books have had to be sort of submitted. So they're down to 5 cities, with the host city being announced next month in August. Now, one of the cities that ruled itself out is most famously Amsterdam. Now, Amsterdam has hosted the contest before. As obviously it's the capital of the Netherlands, the city that people are most familiar with. I'm sure I've got a couple of friends who live in Amsterdam who are a little bit disappointed that it won't be hosted there. Actually, though, considering some of the noises that have been coming out, kind of some of Amsterdam's local politicians, around kind of the numbers of tourists that go to Amsterdam, the availability of venues, it's perhaps not such a big surprise. Also out of the race is The Hague, which has also hosted Eurovision before, and Hilversum, I don't think, even entered it, which hosted Eurovision way back in 1958. So this all means that we will be getting a new host city, so it's be a city that has not hosted the main Eurovision Song Contest before. So there are 5. I was going to run through each of them quickly. I might be looking down at some notes because it's quite a lot to remember. But I thought we'd have a quick chat through each of them and what they're like, and maybe some random factoid that I've dug up about them. So first of all, there is Arnhem, which is in the east of the Netherlands. It's actually, their proposed venue is the Gelredome, which is a football stadium which has a roof. It's the biggest venue of the 5 submitted. And they've hosted a lot of big music concerts there, so I think that's got a lot of experience. It's around 35,000 capacity, so it will be a very, very big venue. Arnhem, well, for most British British viewers, probably Arnhem is you will probably most remember from the Battle of Arnhem during the Second World War, which was a particularly tough battle during the liberation of the Netherlands. Arnhem's not perhaps the best in terms of travel-wise. It's not as near kind of Amsterdam or Schiphol Airport, although with anywhere in the Netherlands you can get about quite straightforwardly. I think this is a bit of an outside chance, I suspect. I'm not sure it's one of the favourites. Then we go on to s-Hertogenbosch, or Dame Bosch, or Rosmalen, which is a smaller city in North Brabant. Now, for me, one of my other great loves, as well as Eurovision, is tennis, and so for me, Hertogenbosch is most familiar with. It has a grass court tennis, a grass court tennis tournament just before Wimbledon, so that's why I know it most there. It's proposing the Brabanthalle, which is a convention centre of 11,000 people. It's been open since 1931. Although it's been recently renovated and updated and expanded, and it has an advantage of being in the centre. Again, fairly good transport connections, but not exactly that close to kind of the big cities. Again, I think this one is a bit of an outsider. And we have Utrecht. Now, Utrecht is Netherlands' fourth largest city. It's a big city. It used to be the foremost city in the Netherlands, that area where the Netherlands now is, until kind of Amsterdam took over in the sort of the 17th century. It's got the biggest university in the country. It's a very diverse, very vibrant city, and it's not very far from Amsterdam, and it's very well connected from a transport perspective. Its proposed venue is the Jaarbeurs Convention Centre, which again is just 11,000 people, so slightly on the smaller side if you compare it to Lisbon, perhaps not quite so small when you compare it to Tel Aviv, though, because that was a smaller one. I'm not sure what Utrecht's chances are. I guess it has the bonus of being more centrally located, but the venue, I'm not sure it's an ideal venue. Then we have Maastricht, which is in the very, very south of the Netherlands. If those of you who know the Netherlands, there's a little strip of the country that goes deep down south, and it's right there in the very southern kind of point of the Netherlands. Famous for the Maastricht Treaty, which is the treaty that founded the European Union when it went from European Community to European Union, and where the Euro was born as well. It's an exhibition and conference centre, the Maastricht Exhibition and Conference Centre, which hosts the annual European Art Fair every year. Now, this could host up to 20,000, so it's the second largest of the venues. And Maastricht it's an interesting one, I think. It's very close to Germany and Belgium and France and Luxembourg, but it's probably about as far in the Netherlands as you can go from Amsterdam and Rotterdam, which are the sort of the biggest population centres. It's actually closer to Brussels, Liège, Aachen, Düsseldorf and Köln. So I think that has some advantages, I think, from an international audience, or certainly from those countries, but it is a little bit further distant from kind of the main population centres of the Netherlands. But it would be quite sort of a different sort of location to have it in. And then finally, there is what is currently being seen as the favourite, which is Rotterdam. Now, Rotterdam is the second largest city in the Netherlands. It's the largest port in Europe. It's a lively cultural city, very sort of vibrant. Its historic centre was unfortunately completely destroyed in the Second World War in 1940, but they've sort of rebuilt, and it's now kind of, the Netherlands is sort of now the second biggest centre. The venue there is called Ahoy Rotterdam, and it can sit 16,500 in the main hall, which is again a good size, but critically it has a couple of other smaller halls available of 6,000, 4,000, which again, if you think about the Eurovision Song Contest, that means there's space for green rooms, further capacity for press centre. That it brings all the sort of the gubbins that goes along with Eurovision, which obviously Eurovision isn't just kind of one little event. It's hosted also a lot of music and sports events, including the Junior Eurovision Song Contest. It's also hosted the MTV European Music Awards a couple of times. So it's got a lot of a kind of pedigree from that aspect, and of course, transport links wise, very, very good transport links to Schiphol Airport. It's very close. It's also close to Amsterdam, so it has a lot going for it. I think, just from what I've read and what I've seen, it's probably going to be between Maastricht and Rotterdam. Maastricht have just issued something today to say that they are securing several thousand hotel beds to make sure that the prices aren't overinflated, as often happens when Eurovision fans get a sniff of where it might be. Bookings go through the roof and it all goes a bit crazy. But we don't have too long to find out. So we shall see. I think most of those choices will all be quite interesting and different, and obviously it's the first time that Eurovision will be hosted in any of those places, so I'm sure I'll be back before too long to let you know what I think about the results. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining.